Coming up right now, Optimus Prime was caught and arrested driving a stolen car. Why this character has nothing to do with the next Transformers movie.
A waitress fired for posting a video of a bizarre interaction with a customer, why the man is actually coming to her defense.
And later, the real reason why Real Housewife of Atlanta, Kenya Moore, has been suspended from the show.
Ruh-roh. Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, welcoming you to a Wednesday edition of Daily Flash. Very happy to have you along for our ride. We got a whole hour packed with trending news and entertainment. Also, Matt Doolittle going to be joining us as well. Matt, how are you?
Good.
My man, Mateus. I'm going to start calling you that.
Mateus.
All right, Mitchadias.
Mitchadias and Mateus. That's our Greek name.
So they put out a thing that they're going to do a Spaceballs 2 with
No.
Josh Gad. And they tried History of the World Part 2, and it was just awful and cringy to watch. I'm like, can we just leave these alone from the 70s? Like, they're not going to be able to make that type of humor.
Yeah, and if you saw it, I was so disappointed.
It was horrible.
And you know, I love Mel Brooks by all means.
Yes.
And then sometimes some classics
They just don't translate.
They don't.
No.
No, and that especially History of the World. There was so many things that it's not politically correct.
Right.
But Spaceballs is one of those movies. Just leave it alone. It is what it is. Maybe make something on another realm or whatever. I don't know. Well, John Candy's not around anymore. We can't have a Spaceballs with John Candy.
Well, that's who Josh Gad would be replacing is John Candy, and it's not this.
Oh, he's gonna play.
He would play that type of idea, but I don't even know if they would do it. Would they make fun of the new Star Wars films? Would they make fun of Mandalorian? Would they not even reference it? I just leave it alone. Call it something else.
Can you make fun of the new Star Wars film?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, you know.
I'm exactly.
Oh, you can. Trust me. There's a lot.
It's Marvel. I'm not allowed making fun of Marvel.
Marvel, yeah. Well, even that now, Disney's even pulled that back. They're like, we're going to invest in the movies and the parks.
Only if you're in Gotham.
Gotham, yeah.
Chicago!
That's what I'm saying. Is that the purists out there, man? All right.
You'll appreciate this. New trend among Gen Zers. They are going to job interviews with their parents.
Why?
Get out of town.
No, I swear.
And what is the reasoning behind that?
1 out of 800 people surveyed, starting 1 in 5, said a recent college grad brought a parent with them to a job interview.
Okay, and is it helping at all?
No.
No, all right, good.
It's not helping at all.
Good.
It's causing more problems. 1 in 5 employers say that recent college grads are unprepared for interviews and are often unprofessional. They show up late, they show up inappropriately dressed, they expect too much salary, and they want extreme numbers of days of time off. Yes.
You know, and you know, they have, if you think about it, over the last, since 2020, you know, everybody kind of working remote. That's the norm. Okay, I can understand that. The dressing thing, to this day, you dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have or whatever. Right.
53% of employers surveyed said that recent college grads struggle with eye contact. 50% said they ask for unreasonable compensation. 47%, that's almost half, do not dress appropriately for interviews. And 21% said they refuse to turn their cameras on for virtual interviews.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that plays a lot into it. The parental thing, the parents showing up tells me, if I was somebody coming, I go, this person is, first off, is
a no-go.
Is a no-go, by all means, because it's telling me everything I need to know about you, that you have not let go and you're not independent enough, that you have to have your parents to come.
You've saved me time and money.
Thank you.
Parents are like, yeah, sure, I'll go to your job interview with you.
That's,
like, who else? What parent? Like, no, go on your own.
Great question. But we've got this generation of helicopter parents, which it's hard to believe, we're sort of part of that.
What a nice young lady you are.
Is that so?
That's
really?
what they'll do, yeah.
Oh my God. It's just nuts to think that a parent would even agree to do something like that.
You got to let go, cut those strings, man. And that by doing that is, you know, you're hindering your kids. The hardest thing in the world for me as a parent, I've got 5 kids, is saying no.
Yeah.
And then also letting them make mistakes when you know you can help them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and because they'll only listen to you after a certain age is when they start listening to you. Anyway, I can go on and on about the end of that. We got some parental advice coming up a little bit later on for you, but let's talk about what's happening in the world. When officers in Austin, Texas, they arrested a man, his name, Optimus Prime.
Come on.
and he was caught, well, driving a stolen vehicle.
Oh.
The arrest report says 37-year-old Optimus Prime Blakely was charged with the unauthorized use of a car. Now, the affidavit alleges that Blakely was stopped by officers after he was pulled over for driving a car reported stolen. The name Optimus Prime, if you're not sure, was made famous by the 1980s cartoon Transformers, later turned into several blockbuster movies. In the movies, alien robots go hiding on Earth as cars and even other everyday items, even insects. As robots in disguise, Optimus Prime took cover as a red and blue semi-truck. And as for the man with the Transformer name, Blakely was taken to jail, where he was bonded out on an $8,000 bond altogether. That's your name? That's your name. I wonder if that's his Christian-born name or if he changed it.
I was going to say, did he legally change his name, or is that just what he goes by?
Oh, well, they said his name was actually Optimus Prime. So I'm thinking he had to have changed it.
Yeah.
Because what are we talking about? Bad parents.
Yeah.
That's a bad parent,
yeah.
right?
I mean, you know how many kids were named Luke and Leia after, like,
That's
in
true.
the 70s and 80s?
In the 80s, it was Luke and Laura.
From
From
General
General Hospital, but
Hospital.
then Luke and Leia in the 70s.
I was just thinking that would he be the parent that would go to the job interview?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
What, with his kid?
would get you the job.
With his kid Bumblebee
Yes.
intact, and
No.
his neighbor Megatron, and then
Optimus is he can transform into anything. He's a young, bright young man. That's
Oh,
crazy.
goodness. A waitress in North Carolina claims she was fired for posting a video of a customer eating dinner with an inflatable doll. Hold your laughter here.
Okay.
The server posted the video while she was on the job at the restoration, easy for me to say, restoration hardware restaurant. She turned the camera, showed the male diner seated across the room with an inflatable female doll
Come on.
who was propped up on the seat across
That's
from
not
him.
a real doll.
The doll had yellow blonde hair, appeared to be wearing a
Let
black.
me guess. Was her mouth open wide?
it's for soup.
Oh, for sure.
She was being hand-fed grapes by her human date.
Okay.
That she would ask that. The camera then turned back to the waitress, who said no words. The video racked up 1 million views and a comment from someone claiming to be the man on the date with the doll. He claimed it was a payback for losing a fantasy football bet.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's
But she was
That makes me
fired
feel better, actually.
for posting the video. Should she have been?
Okay, I think she should have been reprimanded by all means, because it is, privacy is one thing when you go up, but obviously if you're taking an inflatable doll,
and that's a
looked
high-end
like
restaurant too.
Yeah, that's not a.
Wait, hold on, it's a hardware store that's a restaurant?
Well, they have.
Restoration hardware? Do they have
Yeah,
restaurants?
they have them in like West Palm Beach and Jacksonville, like high-end areas. It's like your hoity-toity sort of thing.
Okay, so you're going to shop there, but you can also eat there.
can
as
eat there.
well.
If you're going to blow
All
a
right.
lot of money, you can go there. If you're going to blow up your date, you can go there as well, right? I get it. If you're calling for that kind of, you're not calling for privacy if you're just going to set down a
No.
doll, you know that you're going to call attention.
Right.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that he
lost a bet.
going
So yes.
All right, good job. We go on now to some Housewives news. Kenya Moore has been suspended from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. More shocked partygoers with posters of a series newcomer Brittany Edie in what looks like a very compromising position. Now, Bravo cameras were rolling at the cast event where the 53-year-old Moore decided to unveil the explicit images. An investigation followed and Moore was suspended from the show. After the scandal made headlines, Moore took to Instagram and posted, quote, "The truth always comes to light." I remember when she first started, because Atlanta was my favorite.
Yeah. Oh,
Because I
you
love
wa-
Candy.
Okay.
Remember when Candy came
I've
on
never
our other show?
watched-
I
I've never
love
watched,
Candy's
yeah.
my girl, all right? So I would always watch Atlanta. When they brought her on, she was this sweet, innocent woman.
Yeah.
I mean, she was really
But
nice.
on the show, she comes across as.
Well, now she's doing this kind
Yeah.
of crap. I mean, this is what the show does to these women is it turns them into just horrible people, I guess. Because she was Kendra was she was really nice
Yeah.
and kind of like, oh, I'm a good kind of a Christian going kind of feel. And she was also a beauty pageant contestant.
Former Miss USA.
So
Miss
yeah,
USA former?
so she had this persona
Yeah.
about her, and she's turned into doing stuff like this. But that's what gets attention, so that's what's going to happen, right?
Exactly. That's what sells. Well, actor Kevin Spacey recently joined talk show host Piers Morgan for an in-depth interview. During the 90-minute exchange, the two-time Oscar winner opened up about his fall from grace following several sexual assault allegations. Spacey also recalled flying on Jeffrey Epstein's jet with President Bill Clinton and a group of young girls.
Wow.
He mentioned his gratitude toward Elton John and King Charles for their support during the last decade. Spacey also revealed that he's looking at selling his home to pay for legal bills that have left him millions of dollars in debt.
He also admitted on that, Piers Morgan, he goes, "Yes, I guess I was a little I admit I was handsy," but he didn't say necessarily to who, and I think that's where it comes in because a lot of these were young men
Yeah.
that were saying that he was handsy and more. There's a documentary
Oh,
out right now.
it's
Have you watched
oh,
it?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very disturbing.
And how callous he was and a
Mhm.
lot or at least in this documentary
Not
they're playing up.
apologetic whatsoever.
Yeah, wouldn't take any
No,
responsibility
no,
for it.
and seemed to, according to these guys, use his power in Hollywood to keep them quiet.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
More Flash coming up around the corner. Stay with us. It's time for us to head into the parenthood. For kids, summer is actually a time for relaxation, vacations, lots of fun, but it also can be an opportunity for growth and learning. Joining us now with some ways to keep kids entertained and engaged this summer is parenting expert Katherine Sellery, one of my favorite people to talk to. Hi, Katherine.
Hey, likewise. I'm so happy to see you. How are you?
I am well, even though summer is started, and my bonus son and I, we were excited because we got to plan out what we're going to do. Obviously, all the trips we're going to go to, all the places that he's going to make me take him. We've got all that lined up, but it doesn't always have to
Awesome.
be all about that sort of time because it's all about the memories. If you think looking back, memories are usually growing up, you think about the summertime. But it actually can be a good time, you say, during the summer for them to learn, maybe not necessarily just teaching skills that they might need from school, but also emotional things and so on. And I want to talk to you about some of those things. And we, as I just mentioned, doing vacation. You say I could actually make this educational. Do I need to tell him that it's going to be an educational vacation? Explain me what this is, because I don't think he's going to want to go on it.
Totally get that. Yeah, you don't, but you can plan, your vacation. Go to science museums, historical sites, nature reserves. These are all great family-friendly places to go on that summer weekend adventure. Not only do they have attractions that offer educationally conducive environments that are safe and fun to explore at any age, a lot of them are free. So you can have fun with the family while not spending a lot of money, and everybody loves that. And for more excitement, try planning the nature scavenger hunt or the historical tours. A lot of kids are really interested in that with your kids while you visit the attractions to get the most out of your visit.
I agree with you. Okay, now, as I said, we did some planning, but you say even planning hypothetical trips are actually a good thing? Explain
Isn't
that.
that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just think about that. I can't go to Iceland, but I want to learn about it. And God, that sounds so fun. So it might seem a little strange at first, but actually, allowing your kids to think about and plan trips themselves with your guidance, maybe some feedback, but really giving them the reins helps them understand like the logistics that go into getting a group of people somewhere. And it can teach them how important it is around budgeting and travel times and, the different resources that they can use, like the internet. It can even propel them to look inward to figure out what kinds of things they would be really like thinking would be enjoyable instead of looking to you all the time to provide something interesting for
Yeah.
them to do.
Yeah, I
You know what
agree.
I mean?
I do. Well, I even, as you said that, I think sometimes in marriages, it does. No, I'm serious because, usually there's one spouse that does all the planning, but if you have some hypothetical thing, it actually will garner, I imagine, a lot of imagination, and I could see it as a
Yeah.
child really growing from all of that. You mentioned staying, basically, getting on the internet. That would involve staying at the home and such, but you say you can do some creative learning at home as your next tip. Explain that.
Absolutely. So, engaging in those do it yourself projects can be tailored for any age and any interest. For example, you could prompt a build an instrument and can have a solution as simple as putting an old shoelace or a rubber band over a shoebox with a hole, or as complex as woodworking or digital software synthesis. It could take an hour, it could take a day, it could take the whole summer. I mean, it could light up their enthusiasm or interest. So, finding the right prompt can give your kids a boost in their imagination and creativity, and finding the thing that sparks their interest is key. So maybe your child wants to try cooking or baking something with you, or maybe they want to write a song or make a painting. Regardless of the task, exploring those topics through creation is engaging and can teach countless new skills.
We are always thinking, all right, how am I going to keep the kid busy? How am I going to keep them all active? Let's sign them
Yes,
up for all kinds
for
of
sure.
stuff. Let's get them, jujitsu. Let's get them guitar lessons, that sort of thing. But we need to think about the downtime too, I would imagine,
Yeah.
as well. How important
So
is that?
true. Yeah, so that's really important because that's what summer vacay is all about, right? So finding the enjoyable and acceptable entertainment to balance all the outdoor and family activities is also really key. So maybe you have a bookworm in the family, or maybe you don't have a bookworm in the family, but
Okay.
whether you do or don't, establishing reading habits over the summer can be an exceptionally rewarding way for your kids to stay engaged during their off season instead of forcing them to start reading through this or that. Just set up a cozy reading nook. Host a family book night where everybody can share thoughts and ideas about a certain book that they really love. If your child is more oriented toward those online games or digital media, keep an open mind. There are online resources and educational games that make learning really fun, interactive, interesting. So even games that you may not think of as conventionally educational, they can teach history or math or politics or strategy more through immersion. So
Okay.
talk to them, ask them questions, watch them play. All are good ways of engaging with them and enjoying just the downtime and making them feel comfortable with what they're playing.
To do a little sideline question here, since we have our parenting expert on you, Katherine, what about keeping them on a schedule? I mean, how far off should we go from that schedule? Because, I mean, it is summertime. They're like, Mom, I want to sleep till 11 o'clock every day. I mean, do we let them, how much of that do we give them, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I loved giving my kids as much time as it's the only time, right? And so much of their lives is oriented toward other people telling them what to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of the only time, it's the only season in the year where they can have a little bit more autonomy, and be more self-directed. And it's so nice for them to begin to get a feel for their natural rhythms. So I say, if it's really not bothering you, then let them have their time to choose when they want to go to bed and when they want to get up. It's really the only time in their lives, really 9 months out of the year, they're scheduled.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And I imagine it would also, in the summer, it would teach them, it's like, hey, look, we're giving you a lot of responsibility. You have this. If you decide to sleep till 11 o'clock and, you miss it, well, there's consequences to that. But it allows them to make that choice. Is a perfect time, actually, now that I think about it.
I mean, again, if it's something really important to you, you can set that up too, right? Like if you've got a big day plan tomorrow, that's not the day to say, do whatever you want, Charlie. That's the day to say, hey, this summer is all about you guys really enjoying and having autonomy that you wouldn't have otherwise.
I agree.
There are times that we got stuff going on. And it's really important that we do get to bed early.
Katherine, thank you so much. We are out of time here. Freeparentingbook.com is the website you want to go to find out more.
Hey guys, this week on The Scene with Doreen, I got to sit down with Stephen Tobolowsky, one of the greatest character actors of our time. He's appeared in over 300 movies and TV shows, and boy, does he have a story to tell. Check it out.
Phil Connors, I thought that was you.
Rita, this is Ned Ryerson. He's my new insurance agent.
I'll say. I have not seen this guy for 20 years. He comes up to me and then he buys whole life term, Uniflex, fire, theft, auto, dental, health, with the optional death and dismemberment plan. Water damage. Phil, this is the best day of my life.
Mine too.
The scene I just played, you wrote that. And yet you didn't get writing credit, but I heard you wrote that scene.
Yeah, Harold Ramis knew that he wanted a conclusion to the Ned character. Danny, the screenwriter, Danny Rubin, and Harold, they were busy shooting and they didn't write anything. They brought me out there back to Woodstock, Illinois, where we were shooting, and they said, well, we'll have something written by the time we're ready to shoot it. Well, they were about to lose the space. I just wrote a scene and I said, this way, Bill gets a joke and Andy has something and I have a lot of BS to say. Harold Ramis said, well, what are we shooting? And I said, well, I wrote this. So what do you think of this? He read it and he says, well, let's shoot this. And he says, Bill, look at it. What do you think? Yeah. And Bill looked at it and says, okay, yeah, we could do this. So, and I always kid Danny, the real screenwriter of Groundhog Day, I did not get credit for that scene.
I know. I interview a lot of musicians, and I obviously have actors on as well. But Stephen, you have your foot in both camps. Formed your first band in high school called Cast of Thousands. You had a young 14-year-old Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar.
We recorded these are two songs on this album, and here's the album, by the way.
I've seen it, but I have not seen it in person. That's awesome. A new
Here
high,
it is, a
baby.
new high. We recorded like the Beatles did at the beginning. We all stood around 2 microphones and all sang the song all at once in harmony, did all of the stuff. And then at the end, Stevie came up and started playing his leads and just to see which one they wanted.
Yeah.
And when he started playing, we went like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because we were not any good. And no, we weren't. And he was not only good, but it was the first time any of us were in the room with genius.
Are you, sir, a spokesman for the White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan?
I told you, I'm a businessman.
You know, you've been in, 300 plus roles, TV, movies. Do you have a favorite?
Well, a lot of favorites for a lot of reasons. One of my favorites was one of the first, Mississippi Burning, because it connected me with Alan Parker, who turned out to be one of the most important people in my life. And the casting director on Mississippi Burning ended up being the same casting director as Groundhog Day.
Oh.
And that does not happen. You don't have an actor playing a horrible white racist like me and then going to do Ned Ryerson.
Right.
That doesn't happen in show business. If you play horrible white racist, they do it until, you're just too old to play the next door neighbor.
You've been in an industry that's not so easy for a very long time, and you've persevered and you've excelled. And thank you for all the gifts you've given to us.
My pleasure, Doreen.
If you want to hear more of our wonderful chat, you can visit right here. And for now, I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each and every week. See you next time.
Hello, one and all, to this edition of Is It True? So let's debunk the age-old discussion of, is it true that it's okay or not okay to eat raw cookie dough?
No.
So is it true? I know I always had a spoonful as a lad when my mom was making cookies, and it seemed perfectly acceptable. But then again, this was the early 90s, and a lot of stuff got away with it. So is it true or false that it's okay to eat cookie dough?
It's not okay at all. I know because of eggs. That's what they always told me. It's not eggs. And then, like, if you order it like at ice cream shops, they'll make it without eggs because it doesn't have to like hold together. So yes, it will make you sick. That's what I say. I say it's true.
So it is indeed actually false that it's okay to eat cookie dough. So it's false that you can eat it. You should not eat it. Though they do make a substitute that you can eat raw. So they've made it without the raw eggs. So the USDA says it's because of the raw cookie dough. And they say it's because, like you were saying, the raw eggs that can have salmonella bacteria, so it's not safe. We never get to have any of the fun things we like from the 90s, like riding around in the back of a car without seat belts. Just live, people, but really don't eat it. It's going to make you super sick. Now, Mitch, did you have any of those other foods as a kid that you were like, they said it was fine, and I'm good with it?
It's the Pop Rocks and Pepsi. Remember when I was growing up, if you ate those two, you would die immediately. And then there was bubble gum that had spider eggs in it. Remember that? They said they had, and I stayed away. And that's probably why I hate chewing gum so much. All right, thanks, Matt. Isn't true? Good stuff there. More Flash coming up.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
It's been about a year ago, but the Murdaugh murders, I mean, just how it had everybody enthralled in what's going on. Of course, there was the documentary, I think, on Netflix and such. It's called the Southern Scandal and stuff. Well, we all know what happened, of course, to Alex Murdaugh, but his son is pretty much the only one left, Buster. Well, he's like, I ain't got a job. I'm going to need some money. So he's suing Netflix because what he says is that they inferred that he is the one who killed the 19-year-old on a remote road. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So while they never in the show said that he had done it, they show a character, you know how they do reenactments, had red hair and carrying a baseball bat, okay, inside of that. So one would to believe, according to Buster, that they were referring to him. Well, he said, well, I didn't do it. So I'm going to sue you for slander. And so now he's going to be able to do that. Looks as if that case is actually going against Netflix. So this is not done by all means. And Buster needs some money. So if you think about that.
I do recall in that documentary, they were suggesting that maybe the two had some sort of interactions prior to him being killed. I don't know what those interactions were and what their relationship was like, but
they were ambiguous about that,
yeah.
about what it was. And
it romantic.
No, did they?
Yeah, they made it seem like he was having a fling with
Yes,
him.
and maybe,
I think they maybe alluded to it and allow you to figure that out.
And in that community, it was like a no-no for homosexual
Taboo.
like relationships.
Right.
That was what mainly they thought why that kid was killed.
Was highly suggested that was the reason behind it.
So defamation lawsuit, so that means it's not going away, and that whole story is just crazy. And matter of fact, I think Alex got even more time. What was it, like a month, 2 months ago?
I think he
just
did, yeah.
Back for, so he's not going to get out of jail.
And then they did a follow-up to the original Murdaugh murders, and then they sort of, from a couple of different people's perspective, there was a juror, and then there were a couple of other people. I think there was a house manager.
Yes.
And she was talking about how the food was moved and the clothes were moved. It was like very odd, strange things happened.
I think out of all of this, if this does kind of continue on, everybody's going to go back and watch it again because they're going to see what they're talking about. So it could be a good thing for Netflix. So we'll see.
Officers in Austin, Texas arrested a man named Optimus Prime after he was caught driving a stolen vehicle. The arrest report says that 37-year-old Optimus Prime Blakely was charged with the unauthorized use of a car. The affidavit alleges that Blakely was stopped by officers after he was pulled over for driving a car that was reported stolen. The name Optimus Prime was made famous by the 1980s cartoon Transformers, which was later turned into several blockbuster movies. In the movies, alien robots, they go into hiding on Earth as vehicles, everyday items, animals, insects. As a robot in disguise, Optimus took cover as a red and blue semi-truck. As for the man with the Transformer name, Blakely was taken to jail where he was held on an $8,000 bond.
Who knows if he's going to get out by all means, but what a crazy, maybe he loves the movie. I mean, maybe he's a big Michael Bay fan.
When I first heard when I hear the Optimus Prime voice, I think it's Liam Neeson. But have you ever seen the real guy that voices Optimus?
Does not look into. None of the voice actors do.
No,
see the guy that plays Winnie the Pooh.
For Optimus Prime, it's like this, just this big foreboding, and then you see the guy who actually voices it, and it's.
I think the biggest surprise I ever had was on on Family Guy. The guy who does the voice for Cleveland Brown is this white guy, this old white guy.
The mom from Bob's Burgers is a guy.
That I did know.
Okay,
I think even the daughter is a guy voice too. So they do have that. We move on now to North Carolina, where a waitress there says she was fired for posting a video of a customer eating dinner with an inflatable doll, and we got the video. She posted the video while on the job at the Restoration Hardware restaurant. She turned the camera on, showed the male diner seated across the room with an inflatable female doll propped up on the seat. The dude was feeding it, okay? Grapes. And so she gets it and she writes, turns the camera back around. She goes, no words. Well, anyway, she posted it. Millions of people looked. Yeah. She got one comment from the guy who said it was him. And this made me feel a lot better. He said, I lost a bet and I had to go do this.
Sure he did.
Well, it's a great excuse. From now on, I'm using that by all means.
Anything you do wrong, I lost a bet.
But it does sound like one of those fantasy football bets that you would have to do something like that.
This summer, check out the ultimate American road trip with a British twist. Nick Miles has more.
Imagine packing your car and hitting the road for the Great American Road Trip. Well, millions of Americans are going to do that this year. But this year, I'm going to give you some tips and twists on how to make this the ultimate American family vacation. This year, 3,000 Mini owners hit the road for the 9th iteration of Mini Takes the States, a massive road trip from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Seattle, Washington.
Mini Takes the States is a demonstration of creativity and community, and of course, a reflection of
what we all know is the Great American Road Trip. This year, Mini owners are thrilled to see 3 new additions to the Mini family at Mini Takes the States. 2 versions of the all-new and bigger Mini Countryman and the new Cooper S 2-door. As a special treat, the Mini Cooper S 4-door made its North American debut. This year, participants will travel through 5 states and 9 cities, including some great landmarks like Yellowstone and Mount Rainier. Does your road trip have a theme? Some of the best family adventures are themed. This year, for Mini Takes the States, the themes include Camp Mini. It highlights a partnership with Keep America Beautiful and the American Camp Association. Mini are known for their efficiency and agility, making them ideal for navigating the diverse landscapes of the United States. Now, when it comes to family road trips, 4 out of 10 Americans will make road trips this year, and 78% are happy to go more than 500 miles. With 429 national parks and nearly 7,000 state parks, nature lovers are spoiled for choice in America, and for the other tastes, there are over 20,000 breweries and wineries. For those looking to give back, there are plenty of opportunities to make a difference along the way. Combining travel with volunteering is easy. Thrill seekers and sports enthusiasts have endless options. For visiting every stadium for your favorite sport to taking the plunge at one of over 400 skydiving centers. And let's not forget 641 amusement parks for family fun. For the culturally inclined, road trips offer Americans rich opportunities to explore American heritage. With over 35,000 museums, from grandiose art collections in New York to small-town artifacts, a museum-hopping road trip could be just the ticket for trivia night back home. This year on Mini Takes the States, or your own family road trip, it offers a summer that has a blend of culture, community, and adventure. Remember, it's not just about the destination, but the journey and the memories made along the way. Pack your bags, America, and get ready for the ultimate American road trip. It offers unexpected stops, the best American adventures, and of course, making memories. I'm Nick Miles.
Hey, sharpen your pencils and prepare those book bags. Here are some last-minute back-to-school and college essentials without breaking the bank. Author and Women's Day Editor-in-Chief Megan Murphy shares her recommendations for back-to-school preparation.
I love working with Target because they are my back-to-school headquarters. So many great deals. 20 must-have school supplies for $20 total. Your Mondo Llama, colored pencils, your up-and-up glue, notebooks, you name it. Deal of the century, the Summer Ridge backpack for only $5. Of course, if you're headed to college, we've got you covered for dorm. Room essentials, those XL twin sheets, 4 packs of towels, under $10. And if you are a college Target Circle member, 20% off your total purchase to September 28th. Of course, you also want to be a Target Circle 360 subscriber to unlock more savings, more discounts, and ultimate convenience, including unlimited same-day delivery on orders $35 or more. Target loves their teachers. For $49, you're going to get all those bells and whistles for the entire year, and college students, $4.99 a month. Go to Target.com and download the Target app for more.
Thanks for all that great info. We'll make sure we have it on our website at dailyflashshow.com. Well, pandemonium is sweeping the nation. 2 new giant pandas, Yunchang and Yingbao, are making their early awaited public debut at the San Diego Zoo. Joining us to discuss is Wildlife Ambassador with the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, Marco Wendt.
Buenos dias, world. I'm here at Panda Ridge at the San Diego Zoo. It's a super exciting time. We're welcoming all the people of the world to come visit us here at San Diego Zoo and experience giant pandas, an iconic species of the region of China. You get to experience 2 giant pandas. We have our 5-year-old male, Yun Xuan. Yun means cloud, and Xuan means river. So he's a big river of clouds. Lots of personality, super laid-back panda. And we have our female as well. Now, her name is Xing Bao, means precious treasure of prosperity and abundance. And it's really an appropriate name, I think, because overall, pandas represent wildlife conservation, they represent friendship, and they represent love. And this is going to be an iconic species. Now, for viewers and listeners to know, when you come visit us at the San Diego Zoo, we're a nonprofit organization and we're doing conservation work all over the world. I highly recommend all of your viewers to check out our website. It's sandiegozoo.org, and then you can find all that panda information from the various ways you can have a wonderful, vibrant panda experience.
A new AI-powered hearing aid makes history and finally cracks code on background noises. Tech Life journalist Jennifer Jolly joins us with the first look at this life-changing innovation.
Thank you so much for having me. What a lot of people don't realize about hearing loss is just how much it impacts the masses. You know, 1 in every 8 of us, including some 1.1 billion young people, now suffer from some form of hearing damage. This is an issue that's also really near and dear to me because a few years ago, a company called Phonak hooked my dad up with hearing aids, and I watched that whole experience bring him back from an increasingly isolated world. That happened a few years ago, and at the time, those were the most technologically advanced hearing aids on the market. Today, well, the company asked me to help them introduce Phonak's next generation Audeo Sphere Infinio hearing aids. You're among the first people in the whole world to see these. They're debuting at a launch event at Sphere in Las Vegas. This is a world-first hearing aid that harnesses the power of artificial intelligence, AI, all that AI everybody's been talking about. Well, this is getting used to separate speech from background noise by using some 22 million sound samples to differentiate between a person's voice and all other sounds, really. It's a dramatic leap forward in signal processing, which gives you unprecedented speech understanding from all directions in virtually any environment. And Phonak, well, it's already showcasing this new tech on the exterior of Sphere at a scale that's never been seen before, which tells me it's a really big deal. Here's what's so cool about it. Think about eating dinner at a crowded restaurant. Your brain has to differentiate between the sound of dishes clattering, other people talking, background music, 1,000 different sounds. Your mind and ears have to sort through it all in real time to tune out distraction and tune in on, say, a server asking you a question or a loved one sitting across from you. It's incredibly complicated, and simply turning down the volume on some of it, well, that just doesn't work. So to really tackle this issue, Phonak uses AI and a microscopic, incredibly advanced, dedicated deep neural network chip that's like having a computer nestled inside a device smaller than a fingernail. That instantly has 53 times more processing power than existing hearing aids, and that same chip also enables 4.5 million neural connections to effectively separate speech from noise, regardless of the direction. It is absolutely stunning. I have one on right now. I've tried these myself. I put this on, it's like having superhero hearing. We are in Las Vegas, just walking through a casino with all the machines and alarms and bells and whistles. I can actually make out everything people are saying really clearly, and it all syncs up with an app on my phone, so I can customize even more as I go for every environment in need. I can hear people talking behind me back there if I want to, or I can just tune in and have an intimate conversation with you. You can find out more about all of this technology from your audiologist or your doctor, and go to phonak.com/sphere for more information.
Just in time for back-to-school season, Shipt shopping expert Julie Coop is here with tips and resources for making school day lunch and snack planning easy.
One of the best time-saving solutions for stocking up on groceries and making your life even easier is Shipt. Shipt is a same-day personal shopping and delivery platform that allows you to get all of the things you need to go back to school in as soon as 1 hour delivered to your door. It's such a huge time-saving solution. On average, Shipt saves customers 8 hours a month. Just think about all the things you could do with that little bit of extra time. So always check the Shipt app to see where we're offering promotions, saving customers money. But right now, through August 31st, if you use the promo code BACKTOSCHOOL, one word, back to school on your order, you'll get $10 off. And that's whether you're a brand new customer using Shipt for the first time or you've been using Shipt for years. We're trying to help you save some money in this season. For more information, you can visit shipt.com or download the Shipt app. That's SHIPT.
Hey, the 2024 fantasy football season just got more exciting because Yahoo Sports announced updates to its award-winning Yahoo Fantasy app. The newly redesigned Yahoo Fantasy app is intended to make it easier and more exciting for people to play fantasy sports. The app features a new global navigation with 3 updated tabs: Home, News, and Scores. The app's dynamic home screen displays team scores and data that updates in real time. The News tab prominently surfaces top-notch analysis and advice from Yahoo Fantasy experts. The Scores tab, well, it keeps users up to date on the day's scores, ensuring that fans don't need to leave the app to see how their favorite teams are doing. The app also features more than 100 new fantasy team logos. Yahoo Sports is introducing new content this football season that's going to educate, entertain, and elevate the performance of fantasy players. This all includes Yahoo Fantasy Forecast, Yahoo Fantasy U, and a fantasy newsletter that will deliver key fantasy insights straight to fans' email inboxes. The Yahoo Fantasy app available for free in the Apple App Store, and you can find it on Google Play.
Hey, the newest addition to Airbnb's Icons category is Polly Pocket's 42-foot tall compact, which takes adventures to a new height. Here with more is Allie Kilman, Channel Communications Lead for Airbnb.
Earlier this summer, Airbnb introduced Icons, which is a new category of experiences that are hosted by the greatest names in pop culture. And Polly Pocket is an icon of the 90s that is essentially synonymous with the decade. And to celebrate her 35th anniversary, we've teamed up with Mattel to offer a life-sized version of the 1994 Polly Pocket Compact for guests to actually stay in and experience themselves, to live the doll life for size. We are going to be offering 3 one-night stays for up to 4 guests each. That will be available to book on August 21st at 6 a.m. Pacific at airbnb.com/pollypocket. And for those that aren't able to book the overnight stay, we're also going to be offering 21 2-hour-long experiences for up to 12 guests each. That will be available to request to book starting August 21st as well at airbnb.com/pollypocket playdate.
Need to unwind after a busy day? We've got the perfect solution to your sleepless nights, thanks to Disney. Disney Sleep offers peaceful renditions of your favorite classic Disney songs to fall asleep to, and is available wherever you stream music. Just say, "Alexa, play Disney Sleep" to your Amazon-connected device. For the perfect deep sleep, visit DisneySleepSweepstakes.com and enter to win the grand prize, an award-winning NOLA Evolution Luxury Hybrid Mattress. This mattress offers 3 firmness level options, cooling comfort, and pressure relief for sensitive joints. Learn more at NOLAmattress.com. The prizes don't stop there. The grand prize winner also gets a Whim Beside companion lighted speaker with Alexa to stream the Disney Sleep playlist. If you fall short of the grand prize, don't fret. You can still win one of 5 $25 Amazon gift cards. Head over to dailyflashshow.com and click on the sweepstakes button for your chance to win.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Man, we love having y'all along with us.
I saw a headline on the New York Post recently. Some woman pulled another lady aside and said, "I know what's wrong with your son." And, basically pointing out she thought that he was sick and had some sort of ailment. And she's like, "Don't tell me how to parent my own child." Which reminded me, I was out walking the dogs the other day, and some lady had the nerve to come up to me and tell me that I was walking my dogs wrong.
What?
Has that ever happened to you?
How do you walk a dog wrong?
I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, who are these people? Who are these people that think they can just come up to you and tell you you're doing this wrong?
I need to know the reference. Like, what were you like?
Here's me
wrapped around your neck or something.
Out walking the dogs. I see who I think is a neighbor. I don't know them personally.
Sure.
I just say, "Hey, how's it going? I'm just trying to be a nice, friendly neighbor." And she's like, "Yeah, hi. Excuse me. Can I tell you something?" And I was like, "Oh no, here we go." And she's like, "You're not walking your dogs the right way." But I had my dogs out in front of me. They're 2 very large dogs, and they've got a lot of energy. And she goes, "You're supposed to be walking them right next to your side on a tight leash." And I was like, "Do I know you?"
I had somebody tell me I was playing with my cat too rough on one of the videos, and I was like, "I'll play with my cat how I want to play with my cat." Okay.
Yeah.
If it's any solace, I guarantee you that woman's husband, she keeps him right by his dick. If you can go up to a complete stranger and tell them they're, and it's the way you do it too. Say, "Hey, can I suggest something?" That's another thing instead of "you're doing it wrong."
And I'm like, "Who who are you? Are
Who
you
are you? Who does it?
Ultimate
No,
Karen.
I just know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's a trainer. Really?
That's what it was. Y'all take care. We love having you along. We'll see you when we look at you.